Don't stop.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me on the Everything and Anything in a Bit Gay podcast. I'm Zach Randles-Friedman, and this is my second segment that I'm doing, and it's called The Gay Bit. If you're listening to this show, you know it's called Everything and Anything and a Bit Gay, and most of my episodes have some type of gay theme to them, whether it's the guest or the topic, or there's just a mention of being gay, and if there's not, then I'm the bit gay piece in it. But I wanted to start doing this segment once a week where I come in and I talk about kind of like what's on my mind that's gay. And today I have two topics that I want to cover. My first topic is that 3 or 4 months ago or so, I interviewed a guy named Benjamin Smith. He's gone a little viral on TikTok and Instagram. He is a realtor that is a gay guy that lives in East Boston, and he goes around and gives apartment tours. He'll go and find an apartment, and he'll go in and give you a tour and tell you how much it is, and that's how he probably gets a lot of people to rent apartments from him as being a realtor. He talks about how he wears 3 layers of foundation, his nails are done, and he's living his authentic self. And I interviewed him, and I thought he was actually an amazing person. I really loved interviewing him. And I was the first person to do a podcast with him. Shortly after, the next day actually, he already had this planned, I guess. Reporter Matt, who's known on Instagram and in the Boston area, did an in-person interview with him, followed him around for the day, and that blew up too. And then he's been on a couple other podcasts, and reporter Matt had him back again for another interview. And so Benjamin has gone viral, and he's gone so viral, like on my show, I do clips, like 45, 50-second clips that I put on Instagram to kind of preview the episode. And one of the clips that we did was him and I were talking about how gays are so mean in Boston. And he agrees. And we were saying, yes, they're so mean. They're so cliquey. They're bitches. Like, what's wrong with these gays in Boston? I've talked about this in other episodes with other people about how living in Boston and being gay, unless you like grew up here, meeting friends is not so easy. And they're just all in cliques and bars. They're not nice. They're not friendly. And so Benjamin and I discussed that, and I put that clip up on Instagram to drive people to see the full episode, and it got 139,000 views. And still today, several months later, it's still getting comments daily. And I have to say, most of the comments, probably 98% of the comments, people have agreed with us. Or they have talked about the city that they live in, that the gays aren't nice either. You know, it was a super success. I felt a little strange talking about gays in my community when I'm part of this community. But I was being honest, and so was Benjamin, and the gays just are not super friendly. However, I have a confession to make that last Thursday I went out to dinner with a couple of friends that are gay, and then me and one of the friends went into the trophy room and met another friend, and I'm standing at the bar when I walk in next to my friend Mark, getting me and my friend Sam a drink. I order a vodka soda for myself with a lime, and the guy sitting down at the bar where I'm ordering says, "Hey, great drink. That's what I'm drinking too." Oh, awesome. His name was Nick. He was there by himself at the time. His husband was coming back from New York, and it's his neighborhood. He like lived around the corner or something, so he was close to there. It's like his neighborhood bar that he comes to. This was a Thursday night. The bar wasn't super crowded, and Nick was really nice. And I'm like, wow, like a nice gay. Throughout the night, we talked with him and included him in our conversation. Then he met some other people sitting next to him, and then he'd come back to us. And then his husband showed up, and we met his husband, and it was a great night. On top of that, I'm the matchmaker in the group, and I always want to set up my friends with people. And this guy walked by. My friend Sam thought he was cute, and I grabbed him and pulled him over, and we were talking to him. And him and Sam ended up exchanging numbers, which is amazing. And who knows what will happen there. But and then this guy ended up having other friends, and he brought them over, and we were talking with them. Before the end of the night, we had like 10, 12 new friends that we ended up talking to. And it was really nice. Everybody was super friendly. We were all having drinks together. I probably bought too many shots for people that night because my credit card bill the next day was a little more than I thought it should have been. But yeah, it was a Thursday night, and there were lots of drinks at dinner, and there were lots of drinks not at dinner. There was like 2 margaritas at dinner, and then the bar. Once we got to the bar, it was all downhill from there, especially for a Thursday night. And I also was towards the last hour there. So I'll just say we closed the bar down, where they said, get the hell out of the bar, because we were having that much fun. And we had 12 new friends that night. But these 2 guys walked in, and one guy's name was Alex. And Alex walks in. He has platinum blonde hair with his dark black roots showing. And something about him I just really liked. And I started talking to him, and he was so friendly. And he is an old soul. And I meet people like this maybe a couple of times a year where you can just tell they're an old soul. And the reason why I think Alex is an old soul is because whenever I was having a conversation with Alex in this bar, he was looking at me. I was the only person in the room. He was not on his phone. He didn't care what anybody else was saying. He was interested to know who I was. And I love that type of person whenever they are focusing on the conversation they're having. I follow him on Instagram now. I have his phone number. I got everybody's phone number that night somehow. But I'm going to have Alex on my show because I am doing this series of episodes for this podcast where I am talking to local Boston people. I've talked to reporter Matt. I've talked to Benjamin Smith. There's a couple other interviews I've already done, and Alex is going to be on my show because I've already talked to him about it. So really great guy, and I hope to be friends. He's 31 years old, but I would have thought he was like 55 because he was just like not a typical 31-year-old. Again, just like respectful, paid attention to what I was saying, and just the whole night was so refreshing. I left there so incredibly happy because it changed my whole thinking about the Boston gay community, because there are nice people out there. So I partly take back what I've said in several episodes about Boston not having great gays. I don't think they're still amazing, most of them. I think most of them are still bitchy queens and cliques, but I will say there are very nice gays out there in Boston. So that is my confession for this episode. The other thing I wanted to talk about, which I have really been thinking a lot about lately, and we'll be right back. Okay, and now back to the show. So as I've said in previous episodes, I really get into TikTok. I do it maybe once a night maybe. Sometimes I'm on there for 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, this is boring. But my default is to say, I'm going to give myself 15 minutes on TikTok. And a lot of times I'm looking for like future guests, because I have found so many amazing guests on TikTok where I find them, I send them a DM, come on my show. Most of them do. And those are been some of my best episodes of people that I find on TikTok. But what happens sometimes is that I go on TikTok, I'm scrolling through, telling myself I have 15 minutes on TikTok, and then I'm off. And then I look at the clock and it's been 2.5 hours. And it's like 11:30, 12. I haven't even watched my TV to clear my mind, my We're Housewives or whatever I want to watch. And I have to then get in like bedtime mode because I've spent so much time on TikTok. As I'm on TikTok, I have these 2 guys that keep popping up in my feed. They're both gay guys. They're both super MAGA, and they're both super gay. And the reason why I say they're super gay is because the first one, and I'm not going to say their names because I don't want people attacking them or I don't want people also giving them more attention. I'm just frustrated with them, which is why I'm talking about it, because I don't understand it. And if you understand it, please leave a comment after you hear my story. So one of these guys got long hair, probably way past his shoulders, has his nails done always, you know, I don't want to, he's gay, like more gay than, just a corporate working gay. Like, and he says he's Christian. And his whole thing is being a Christian MAGA gay person. Here's the thing, like, be all that. You could be whatever you want to be. But this is what I don't understand about this one guy. He hates trans people. He does not understand it. He thinks that all the laws that the orange convicted felon is trying to put out there to hurt trans people, he is all for it all. He doesn't believe in gay marriage. He doesn't believe, but actually he may be okay with gay marriage, but he definitely does not like trans people. He thinks all these bills that are trying to pass to hurt trans people should all happen. Which I don't get. How can you be part of the LGBTQ plus community and not support transgender people? How? I don't understand it. But that's who he is. And he clearly makes it. And I've debated him before. He does these lives. I think this is what his job is going on to TikTok, doing these lives, and people give him gifts. And when you give a gift on TikTok, for those that you don't know, that actually translates into money. So the more people that give these gifts that send those to him, he's going to get paid out at the end of the month. And some people make several hundreds of thousands of dollars on these lives that they do and getting gifts from people. So don't understand him at all. Just the whole MAGA thing and being gay, I don't get. The other guy is a gay guy, platinum blonde, bleached hair. Nails are clearly very long. He has little diamonds and little glitter and stuff all over them, little things all over his nails. All good. Be whatever you want to be. Like, do that if that's what you want to do. Like, I don't care about any of that. You can be as gay as you want to be. What I don't get is how, again, you could be MAGA and talk so poorly about the LGBTQ plus community when you're part of it. I just don't get it. I don't get the MAGA gays. Republican gays, I don't necessarily get either, but maybe from a financial world business, maybe that's why. Maybe you grew up in a Republican family and it just stuck with you. Whatever the case is, like, be whatever you want to be in politics or follow whatever party you want. But if this administration hasn't made you like question being a Republican and you're part of the LGBTQ plus community, you really should think about it more. But my point is that I don't get the MAGA gays at all. MAGA really cannot, they hate the LGBTQ plus community. There are 647 or 672 bills that are trying to go through against mostly transgender people, but against the LGBTQ plus community, trying to take away rights. And I just want to remind everybody, in case you don't know this or you've heard this before, as a reminder, the transgender community in this country is less than 1% of the population. So we are wasting so much time and tax dollars, not we, them. They are wasting all this money and tax dollars on trying to take away rights for someone that is transgender to be able to use a public bathroom based on their gender of the identity they identify as, or trying to take kids out of sports, or trying to hurt transgender people that have served this country in the military. That's what their focus is, to take away rights of less than 1% of the population who do nothing to anybody except they just want to live their authentic life. That's all they're looking to do. And so much effort and time and money goes into this. And it just baffles me. And it baffles me how these MAGA gay Republicans could actually support this. If you think you have figured it out or you have any ideas how a person could be a MAGA person and be part of the LGBTQ plus community, please go to my Instagram. My name is The Real Zachary on Instagram. Send me a DM, leave a comment on one of my posts, or comment on this YouTube video if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're listening to this on a podcast, go to the podcast and just tell me why. If you are a MAGA Republican, I would almost want to interview you on my show to talk with you about it, as long as you're not. I mean, I don't want to debate. I don't want to have anybody debate. Whenever I have people on my show, I don't want you on my show because I try to stay away from all of that. And talking about politics is something I really rarely do on my show. But I don't. The MAGA thing with everything that's happening, because I have another show called Listen Up Girl, which I do LGBTQ plus news. And I just recorded an episode today. And out of 8 stories, 5 of them were about trying to take away transgender rights. And it just baffles me how we got here in this country or this world, because it's not just in this country anymore. It's spreading across the world. And, I actually did, I'll just kind of admit this, that I did actually schedule an interview months and months ago with a gay Republican MAGA person. I wanted to have him come on to talk to him. And I was very neutral. I wasn't debating him. I wasn't trying to turn him into being a Democrat or move away from whatever he believes in. I really wanted to understand how, as a gay man, he became a MAGA person, supporter, how he became a Republican. I just wanted to hear his story, and I wanted my listeners to hear this. After I told my husband I did this interview and I told him about the guy, my husband's like, you cannot air this. Don't give this guy any publicity. Don't give him any airtime. He does not need it. I have a friend that helps me with my podcast, and he was on the fence about it, and we went back and forth about it, and then he did a little research on the guy, and the guy has a not great past. He has a little bit of a shady past, and at that point, I'm like, I can't give this guy any airtime. I'm surprised I'm even talking about it now, so... But yeah, I have thought about bringing on somebody that would be a MAGA Republican who's gay or lesbian or transgender, just so I can ask questions and understand them. And I have to say, after my interview I did with the guy I'm not airing his episode, I still don't understand it. I don't understand how you can be so against a community that you're a part of. The guy that I interviewed is gay, doesn't believe in gay marriage, doesn't believe in transgender people, thinks that, he thinks they're wrong. He will not date anybody because, according to his Bible, as a Christian MAGA Republican man, 2 men together is a sin. And so he will spend the rest of his life alone because this is the belief that he now has. And it's sad in so many ways. It's his life. Unfortunately, he lives in a very liberal state, and he has no gay friends. He has all straight friends from his church, and he's not living his authentic life. And it's very sad. And that's the life he has chosen. It's not my life. I do judge him because I'm gay and I judge people, but I feel sorry for him in so many ways because he's never going to have anybody in his life that's going to love him in a romantic way, because he's not going to be with a woman, and he won't be with a man because his Bible says he shouldn't be and his church says he shouldn't be. So he's going to live a long and lonely, sad life. And you will never hear that episode because, again, maybe one day this country switches and we move away from being such a divided party. Maybe I'll do this as a throwback episode one day in 20 years from now, whenever maybe the world is more joyful and there's more peace in the world. I'll say, oh, remember the time whenever we actually had people like this and these people no longer exist? Wouldn't that be amazing if we had no hatred from the MAGA party? We had people just all loved each other. Wouldn't that be amazing? I think so. Well, this was my second episode of The Gay Bit. And again, it's just my thoughts about what I am thinking. And I'll be back next week with a little bit more things that I'm thinking about that are gay. Thanks for listening. If you like this episode, please be sure to share it with somebody or a couple of people that you think would resonate with. Share it with them. And make sure you subscribe and leave a comment. Tell me if you think you understand the MAGA gays. I would love to know what's going on. So leave a comment. Thanks so much for listening.